An NFL insider just dropped a bombshell Cowboys trade report as the Cowboys are going after Max Crosby. We're going to tell you what this means for the Cowboys, why this is such a huge thing, and how the Cowboys, if they make this move, will be a Super Bowl contender. Welcome into Cowboys Digest, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you tuning in to today's show. And this right here, this is exactly why you should hit that subscribe button. I promise you, when things like this drop, when things like this happen, we get a video out to you first here on YouTube. So if you are a part of the 76% of people who watch these videos but are not yet subscribed, I recommend you do it now, because guess what? When the Cowboys make a trade for Crosby, you're going to want to know when it happens. We'll have a video to you here first on YouTube. The report comes from Trey Wingo. Breaking, according to sources close to the Dallas Cowboys, they have made inquiries with the Raiders about a potential trade for Max Crosby. Are you freaking kidding me? First of all, Max Crosby is a beast amongst men. If we take a look at his stats this season, 18 solo tackles, 4 sacks, 20th in the league, a forced fumble, and an interception. This guy is legitimately a top-tier defender, a top-tier edge rusher, a top-tier defensive lineman, and would absolutely change the way that we look at the Dallas Cowboys and how their season could really finish out for so many different reasons. We got a report here from Dan Rogers, and I wanted to put this in here specifically because it's exactly what you should say. Well, you can think what you think about Micah Parsons and the trade and all that, but if the Cowboys got away with trading Micah Parsons for, in theory, and I'll explain how that works, for Max Crosby, Kenny Clark, and a 2027 first-round pick, they would be absolute geniuses. So how does this exactly work? Well, we know that when Micah Parsons was traded to Green Bay, the Dallas Cowboys in return got 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. So what he's recommending here is the Cowboys send one of those first-round picks, or one of their own, over to the Las Vegas Raiders. And, there's probably going to have to be more than just that, but we'll talk about that in the show and what a trade would look like. But if they were able to do that, they would effectively trade Micah Parsons for Kenny Clark, a first-round pick, and Max Crosby. Or, legitimately, that would be the heist of the century. And all you want to say about Jerry Jones, I would legitimately look at him in such a different light. Such a different light. Like, Jerry,
Dallas,
oh my gosh, Jerry. Please do this. Please, dear gosh, please do this. Let's take a look here quickly at edge rusher Max Crosby's stats. His sack numbers are always good. 4 this year, 7.5 last year. His best years were 2022 and 2023, in which he played 17 games in each, and he had 12.5 sacks and 14.5 sacks. So what would it take? What's the report? How are the Cowboys going to pull this off? Let's first go to a report from Adam Schefter and talk about why this is a possibility and why Jerry Jones is being so aggressive. This was from a podcast saying, quote, "I would say that the Dallas Cowboys are having conversations about moves that they can make before the trade deadline to try and improve that defense. Just like Jerry Jones said that they could and would once they traded Micah Parsons." Now, he continued on to say that I'm not telling you that they will be able to pull off anything, but I will not be surprised if we hear Dallas, at the very least, inquiring about the availability of various defensive players and ultimately trading for one before the Tuesday, November 4th deadline in the NFL. Okay, so obviously we've talked about Jeffrey Simons, Trey Hendrickson, and Max Crosby, and according to all reports over the last couple weeks, Trey Hendrickson's name is being taken off the board. Jeffrey Simons is a name that the Titans are not willing to move. And so with all that to be said, Max Crosby is a legitimate option. The Las Vegas Raiders are in a horrible position, but the thing that makes him so much more valuable to me and effectively to the Cowboys is the contract he signed. He signed a 3-year, $106.5 million extension earlier this year, locking him up through 2029. I mean, just think about this, guys. Just think about it. Micah Parsons, and he's great. I'm not trying to hear and bash Micah Parsons. I love him, and he'll figure it out. Micah Parsons gets traded and gets paid $40+ million over there. You trade You get 2 first-round picks. You get Kenny Clark, and you get Max Crosby on a 3-year, $106.5 million deal. Do the math, guys. Way less than $40 million. Way less. So, what does a trade look like? Is a first-round pick legitimately something that we can look forward to? I really do think so. I really do. If you look at what a trade would likely cost, here's kind of the best I can find. Mauricio Rodriguez of A2Z Sports saying, quote, trading for Crosby would likely take at least 1 first-round draft pick, as well as taking on a large contract that includes a $30 million in guaranteed salary for the 2026 NFL season and runs through the 2029 per over the cap, which you can say this is a big salary. You can say that all day. At the end of the day, though, this is a much better contract than Micah Parsons. This is much more what Jerry Jones is willing to play, and it allows him to use money in other ways rather than just saying, oh yeah, this is the one that we want to use. So, let's look at some more reports, kind of talk about why Max Crosby, it's such a big deal. RJ Ochoa of Blogging with the Boys saying, quote, Max Crosby is one of the league's top pass rushers, and given the Parsons trade, the Cowboys obviously have a need at that position. That trade also gave Dallas extra draft capital to serve as ammunition. And while no one is suggesting that the Cowboys be silly with their draft capital, they have a quarterback in Dak Prescott and an offensive weaponry playing at a level that demands doing all you can to maximize on this season, end quote. I think that's the most frustrating part of the entire season, is that it's not the defense and that they're struggling. It's not the defense and all this stuff. It's the fact that you have an offense that is producing the numbers they're producing, and then a defense that is legitimately the worst defense in the league. That's not something you want. It's not something you expect. It's not something you see. You have to go out there and make some moves to make this defense better. Now, credit to Matt Eberflus, what I never thought I would say. He did some right things this week. He was able to put a lot of man coverage on Washington, and it really worked out. I know that, at the end of the day, they still scored a decent amount of points, but still, it's something to look at. So, Max Crosby would be huge. I ask you the question, Cowboys Nation, would you like to trade for Crosby? Let me know in the comments section. If you would like for the Cowboys to trade for Max Crosby, then I want you to go down there, type T for trade. If you think no, I do not want the Cowboys to trade for Max Crosby, then I would like you to type P for pass. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. So, final thoughts here for me. Max Crosby is a legitimate force to be reckoned with, and is going to be such an amazing thing for the Dallas Cowboys if they're able to get him. It's a guy that I really do believe changes the outlook of this team. And if you look at the PFF ranks, it can kind of go along with that. He has a 78 overall grade, which is 23rd out of 179 edge rushers. But he also has played 406 snap counts, which means that is the most amongst all NFL edge rushers. This guy goes out there, and he has 25 pressures, which ranks him 18th amongst the 179 edge rushers in the National Football League. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to see it, those first-round picks, they can be used for this, because you're getting a guy who you're getting through 2029. And yeah, the contract, maybe it's not amazing. It's $30 million guaranteed, whatever. I still think that's a way better contract than Micah Parsons getting $43 million. This is a perfect trade. I really do think it's on the Raiders, though. I personally see that Jerry Jones, I see him doing the right things. I see him going out there and trying to make the move. But I think they need the Raiders to cooperate, and that's ultimately going to be the deciding factor. Let me know all your thoughts on this. Is this a guy you want to trade? Is this a guy you won't? What's a trade you could think of that would be good? Is a first-round pick worth it? I'm curious for all of your thoughts on this potential trade the Cowboys could do, so let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and we will see you next time here on Cowboys Digest. Peace out, guys.